With learning analytics, we're trying to understand why our students are clicking in a particular way, why are they downloading particular materials, or how are they actually learning. And with learning analytics, we're trying to understand their student journeys and how we can better support their learning through those interesting OU materials. So we use a range of learning analytics approaches to understand where our students are in their journey, but also what they potentially could do to further improve their learning processes and outcomes. So a practical example might be, maybe it would be good for you to click this video, or maybe for another student it might be very useful to read that particular article. So we're giving that advice to our teachers, to our amazing associate lecturers, to really help to maximize all our students' learning outcomes. What we've learned so far is that every student is different, but at the same time that we can really understand that how we design our courses fundamentally allows us for our students to be successful. So we can basically see which type of students just need a little bit of extra support, or which students are doing great, and we just say continue doing what you're doing. And I think that is in a way the amazing thing of 2018, is that we can really understand where are our students and how can we best support them. And I think no other university like the Open University can do that. We have two systems. One basically tracks simply, are you logging in on a weekly basis, where are you looking at, are you making your assessments, etc., etc. So it's providing a good solid base of, are you progressing well over time. At the same time, we have a more advanced system that's called OU Analyze, and there we're really looking at what are you clicking on, which materials are you watching, which materials are you not watching, and we can then basically identify what is the kind of ideal path to roam, what is the best way for your particular style of learning to get to the end of the course. And that might be different for each individual student, and based on those ideal paths for a particular profile, we then give advice to our associate lecturers how to best support their respective students. I'm very pleased that the Open University is the first university in the world that has a clear ethics policy. So every student is able to read what we're collecting, but also what we're not collecting. More importantly, we specifically exclude certain characteristics in the analysis. So in plain English, if you're religious or if you have a particular background, we don't think that is important for how you study. It's really about trying to understand how are you working your way through our amazing course and where can we best help you. And at any point in time, you as a student or as a teacher have the opportunity to see what's happening with that data and how we're using it. So we're being very open and transparent about how we're doing this. And in an ideal world, every student would have a unique course that is exactly tailored to their needs. And that is, of course, impossible to do. But what we're trying to do is design it to the best of our abilities for each group of students. But at the same time, if we see that, for example, a student is slightly behind, we give them indications, maybe you should do this rather than read the entire course, or maybe the next thing you should do is focus on that particular element. So we're giving hints and suggestions how they can optimize their time in the best way. So rather than everyone following exactly the same, we're providing kind of personalized advice via our amazing associate lecturers what the next steps could be. I think the best way forward in an ideal world would be is to give this amazing analytics data and all these visualizations to you, the actual student, and then to see, okay, where am I going well, what could I improve, and what are the next steps that I could do? Or even better, if I only have 10 minutes today, what activities could I do in the next 10 minutes? So in the ideal world, and we are currently working towards that, is how can we provide really good data back to the students and visualizations. What are the next best steps to do? And hopefully in a year or two we can roll this out to all the students across the Open University. That might mean that, for example, you really just want to quickly pass a course and then you only have to do these 5 things, while maybe another person really wants to get an in-depth understanding of a particular key event in history, and then we're providing, based on your own preferences, we provide more personalized feedback. Oh, maybe you should dig deeper into this, or if you have limited amount of time, only focus on that. Currently, our associate lectures are providing this advice, but in the longer term, it would be really amazing to complement the advice from our associate lectures with some advice to you as an individual person. Imagine something like Amazon, where you've bought a particular product, maybe you also would like to see something else, or maybe when you're working your way from A to B, you want to get the best advice on your sat-nav. What are the best routes to get from A to B? And maybe you want to take the scenic route, or maybe you just want to take the fastest route. But I think we have to be much more open in showing which routes are effective for which type of our students. Because there is, of course, no unique route that works for everyone. I mean, I'm a keen cyclist, so I would like to take the hilly routes with very difficult climbs, where others are like, no, I don't want to take the hilly routes, I want to take the flat roads with lots of tailwind. But we want to basically, ideally, give students the choice to study in a way that they would prefer. And of course, the Open University, given its skill, that's the only university that can provide you with that flexibility in the long run. Teachers will be the essential ingredient in it. They will empower you to reach the goal where you actually want to go to, because they know what it's like to climb that particular mountain, or they know if you want to go left or right, what's the best way forward. A computer can only show you the route, like on a sat-nav, but it can't tell you what's coming on that route. And also, computers are very bad in judging your personal life and your emotions and your motivation, but a teacher can immediately say, oh, you're not feeling well today, maybe I can help you, etc., etc.